to the financial health, rather deteriorating financial health of the state of Goa in the context of the ailments of the prominent ministers, including the Chief Minister, and the consequences both on the health of the state as well as of the governing personalities on account of the reshuffle that has taken place and related issues. You must be aware that the 15th Finance Commission has been constituted. This happened way back in November 2017. And it will cover a period between 2020 to 2025. Now this Finance Commission is expected to consider issues specific to the different states, the extent of their poverty among their people, their geographical difficulties, extent of literacy, climate change, industrial growth in that state, and so on and so forth. Now, this Finance Commission is expected to undertake this exercise sooner than later. Is the state prepared to meet the Finance Commission? Is the basic issue. Has the state taken even preliminary steps to collate data, and to make specific recommendations regarding devolution of central resources? Answer is no. And all this because the state government, led by Mr. Parrikar, has been busy not in administering the state, but in damaging the state. It starts in 2012 when Mr. Parrikar, as the Chief Minister then, came down heavily on Goa's economy by ordering closure of all mines. That was the first point. This was followed by the petitions which were being heard in the Supreme Court as regards the mining, and knowing fully well that the entire fate of the state of Goa is dependent on mining, no proper steps were taken to fight those cases in the Supreme Court. So much so that when Goa Foundation demanded continuation of the closure of mines, the pleaders, the lawyers appearing for the state of Goa in the Supreme Court expressed their helplessness, and they said, we have no instructions from Goa government. And therefore, the Supreme Court continued with the stay. Then came the Supreme Court judgment declaring those 88 renewals as illegal and struck us down. And before striking this down, what has transpired is that the government of Goa knew fully well, they had all the information in their hands, that an ordinance was in the offing. That ordinance came into effect from 12th of January. And we have a shocking revelation now that on that date itself, on 12th of January, 66 mining leases were renewed in a hurry. This is a massive scam. The cascading effect of closure of mines is all before the people. And one of the severest effects has been on the lending organizations of Goa. The cooperative sector and banks as a whole. And the second aspect is on the business of the truck owners, the barge owners, and even the chaiwalas. I am using this word. Effect upon the chaiwalas, to which reference has been made by Mr. Parrikar now in his latest letter to the Minister for Mines in Delhi. So in effect, during the tenure of Mr. Parrikar, the entire economic scenario in Goa is a frightening scenario. And if this continues over a period of time, it will spell doom. In fact, it has to a large extent spelled the doom of the state of Goa. So while referring to these finance commission things, on one hand, tourism brings us money, the required foreign exchange. The foreign remittances bring us money because a lot of our young boys and girls have gone abroad. And they continue to go because there are no jobs here. Now these two segments appear to be the saving grace of Goa. The remittances received from our youngsters who have been forced to go abroad, migrate abroad for lack of job opportunities commensurate to their educational qualifications and skills and professional prowess. And of course, tourism, because tourists do come here from foreign countries. So in this context, a private initiative has been taken, which I want to discuss today. This particular aspect may not be linked to the party's affairs. And that initiative is about a group which I have called Goans for 15th Finance Commission. In short, it is GFFC. Goans for 15th Finance Commission. And this group will be meeting, deliberating, and attempt will be to prepare an approach paper so that beyond the efforts of whichever government that exists, Goans who are well versed with economic affairs, this will include the professors, financial experts, and so on. And then this group will then present it to the political parties, to the government, and finally to the Finance Commission. And then when they come here, or the group may travel to Delhi to meet them. So this is the most important part of it. Now coming down to the issue of the health of the ministers. Okay, finally health of the ministers reflects on the health of the state. we have said so many times and we repeat that nobody should fall ill the way our ministers have fallen ill. And let's hope and pray again that all of them recuperate, they become healthy and come back and do whatever they are expected to do. But then, why drop two? Mapsa, Francis D'Souza and Madkekar. The political aspect of this is, both these constituencies have been neglected. Though these gentlemen, the MLAs from this area, have been in the cabinet for a long time, and particularly our Mapshekar, who has been with the BJP for the last 20 years. That constituency of Mapsa has been totally neglected. And quite often, Mr. D'Souza has privately spoken about how the schemes which he had prepared for development of the town have been shut down, rather pushed below the carpet. So except expressing sympathies with Mr. D'Souza as well as Madkekar, we come back to that our demand that there has been a total collapse of the administration. And therefore it is time for the governor, I repeat, to withdraw her pleasure in the continuance of the Chief Minister, Mr. Manohar Parrikar, and his Council of Ministers. Council has not been meeting, so nobody talks about the Goa's economy. The government does not talk about the growing unemployment. Nobody talks about the effect of rising prices of petrol and diesel on a householder's economy. And nobody talks about what is going to happen to our freshwater rivulets coming down the Western Ghats. One of which is now permitted by the Water Disputes Tribunal to be diverted to the extent of 4 TMC. These are very, very serious issues confronting the state. And the Congress, therefore, takes a very serious note. There is already displeasure. There is already discontent among the members of the ruling clique. And if an earthquake really takes place, a political earthquake really takes place, and it will take place, not only the government of Goa, presently headed by the Chief Minister, be washed out in this or get buried under the debris, but a common man without any responsible alternative will face the brunt. So we come back to the situation that Congress party was the single largest party entitled to form the government. If that democratic process had been allowed, this situation would never have arisen. So through you I invite the intelligentsia of Goa to put in their inputs as regards the submissions that Goa is expected to make, must make to the 15th Finance Commission. He did it from New York, he did it from Kandori, he did it from Goa Medical College, and now it is in AIIMS. Very unfortunate for him as well as for Goa. So in fact, under these circumstances, a sensible leader would take sensible steps, proactive democratic steps. Now if he doesn't want to do that, well, can we call it a democracy? And if his bosses in Delhi don't respond to it, can we expect anybody describing even that government as a democratic government?
So in the past, over several years, the Congress has critiqued Mr. Parrikar's actions for various reasons. Now, what has happened in the last 1 week or 2 weeks or 6 months, especially this reshuffle which has happened from a hospital. According to the Congress, what new aspects of personality of Mr. Parrikar does that put a spotlight on? And number two, will the Congress engineer this earthquake you're talking about, or will let it happen on its own?
It should happen on its own. This is one thing. It is always better that any political earthquake must happen. You know, we have seen political parties imploding for several reasons, good or bad. Now, in this particular case, there is a genuine cause for an implosion. One thing is what Babu says, what Pastor D'Souza says, that I was promised that I won't be shut out like this. After discussion I went abroad, and then without even informing me I went wrong. Same thing with Parkekar. His wife says, the poor woman says that I expect to be reinstated. And poor supporters of Mr. D'Souza say that we expect that when he comes back he will be reinstated. How? What way is it possible? There's an limitation on the strength of the cabinet. There can't be more than 12. So if 2 are dropped, 2 are taken in. So this is totally smacks of a total, not just neglect of democracy, but adding insult to injury. Democracy has been injured. Now it is being further insulted. The way it is being, the way this entire episode, entire exercise is being.
There's been no response.
Yeah, there has been no response. The response is this, that 2 gentlemen have been dropped and 2 new persons have been taken in. That is the response they have made. The implication you have seen. Mr. Prasad Gavkar has resigned his seat as a corporation. Okay, supporters of these 2 ministers are out in the open. And then we have seen what the supporters of Rajesh Patnekar and Dicholi have been saying. What Michael Lobo has been, or his supporters have been saying. So the process of earthquake, it started long back, but each has to its own momentum.
You have in the past said there is a constitutional crisis in Goa because of the absence of the Chief Minister.
Yeah.
So is the Congress party going to take it up before either Supreme Court or the High Court? Because
you see, we have been working on various aspects, including we are considering the aspect of requesting the courts to intervene in the circumstances and direct the state governor to take certain steps. But these are being pros and cons is being weighed, the constitutionality and the maintainability of a petition if at all we file. These are the aspects to be studied because this is an unprecedented situation. Such a thing has never happened anywhere in the country and perhaps not anywhere in the world as well. On slightest reason, if the minister is indisposed, it is a tradition that the minister steps back. The latest example is of our Jaitley, Arun Jaitley.
Should he follow that example?
Pardon me?
Should our Chief Minister follow that example?
Why shouldn't he? If he values democratic principles more than his personal ambition to stick to the chair, he must do it. See, he has already gone now. He will go down in the history of democratic Goa or democracy. That a man in this situation is so adamant that he does not want to give up his chair. And his political bosses, whoever, are forcing him to remain, if at all they are forcing him to remain in the chair, in fact are doing disservice. They are all doing disservice to Mr. Manohar Parrikar. In fact, Govans, if those Govans who remain quiet on this issue are doing disservice to Mr. Parrikar, because we all are contributing to his deterioration of his health. This is bad. Usually you have seen this, in simple ordinary family cases where husband and wife quarrel and the wife commits, injures herself in some way or the other. The in-laws are put behind the bars on the ground that you created the circumstances leading to that whatever incident has taken place. So therefore, look at this whole scenario in that angle. Chief Minister of the state of Goa, who everybody expects him to be in the chair, available 24 hours. And he has been telling the whole world that he works 18 hours and then... But then today he needs rest.
Who are the abettors in this case? According to you.
पर्रीकराची इमेज आसा ताचो फायदो घेवपा खातीर पक्ष सगळे करता अशें तुमकां दिसता?
He used the word abettors. So I think we must trace these abettors in the BJP. Who are driving him to this situation where he is endangering his own life? That is not correct. It is an injury to his family. His young family there, young boys are there, his grandchildren are there. And what are we Govans doing? What is the governor doing? What are his party bosses doing? Are you driving him on an irreversible path? This is unheard of. Inhuman, I would call it. This is inhuman.
वर जी आसा प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स घेतली फॉर्मेलिनाचे आणि आमचे गोंयचे हेल्थ मिनिस्टर बाब विश्वजीत राणे हे मडगांव SPDA मार्केटान आपली टीम FDIचे डायरेक्टर आमचे ज्योती सरदेसाय आणि तशीच डॉक्टर आणि सायंटिस्ट घेऊन थंय गेल्ले. आमकां दोन गजाली जी आसा बाब विश्वजीत राणेची वायट दिसली. एक तर हें की फॉर्मेलिन जो इशू आसा हो गोंयांत इतलो सिरियस इशू आसा आणि बाब विश्वजीत राणेक जो इतलो टायम कित्याक लागलो आपली टीम घेवन मार्केटान वचपाक. दुसरें जेन्ना ते मार्केटान गेले आनी मार्केटान जेन्ना वचून तेमी जे फॉर्मेलिन जे आसा ते टेस्ट वगैरे केले आणि मागीर तेमी प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स केली आणि जी लँग्वेज जी तेमी यूज केली आमच्या आमदाराचे बद्दल बैल मागीर तेमी ताका तांती जी खऱ्यानूच जी आयज मार्केटान जी आसा तांती प्लास्टीक तांती जी आसा ही मार्केटान आयज जी मेळपाक लागल्या लोकांची घरांत जी तांती आतां आमचो आमदार घेवन ही एसेंब्लीन ही तांती जेन्ना दाखयली आणि ही गोंयचो इशू जेन्ना आमच्या आमदारांनी एसेंब्लीच्या मुखार हाडलो आणि आयज विश्वजीत राणे जो एक आमचो गोंयचो एक मंत्री आसा आणि जी लँग्वेज तेणी यूज केली आमची महिला अध्यक्षा बाय प्रतिमा गुदिनोचेर जावं ती ताका म्हाका दिसता सबना. हांव बाब विश्वजीत राणे इतलें सांगूंक सोदता की आमी गोंयचे लोकांचे हेल्थाचे बद्दल जे आसा संबंधान जे आसा आमी हो इशू घेतलेलो आसा आणि आमचो जो इशू आसा हे पॉलिटिकली जो बाब विश्वजीत राणेक टार्गेट करपाचो ना. आमचो हितू जो आसा हो फक्त जो आसा गोंयचे लोकांचे संबंधान आसा तेंचे हेल्थाचे कन्सर्न आसा. आमकां हें वायट दिसता सांगपाक की विश्वजीत राणेन जो आसा आमच्या आमदारांक एटॅक करपाचे परस तेन्ना आमची प्रशंसा करपाक जाय आसली की आमी गोंयचे मुखार गोंयची जनतेच्या हिताक लागून आमी आयज थंय गेल्या. आयज जे फॉर्मेलिन माफियाज जे आसा जे फॉर्मेलिन घालून फिश माफियाज जे आसा हे पॉयझन घालून जे आसा आयज गोंयचे लोकांक गोंयचे भुरग्यांक जे आसा हे शीतान जे आसा आयज नुस्तें तांकां मेळटा. सो आयज जेन्ना आमी हे जो इशू घेता हो गोंयचे हिताचो इशू आणि जेन्ना गोंयचे हिताचो इशू आसा हितून सगळे गोंयचे लोक कन्सर्न आहा. फक्त सालसेटकार जे आसा तेन्ना काल आमचो मंत्री जेन्ना उलयतालो तेणें उल्लेख केलो की सालसेटकारांक लागून जे आमी कितें करता. हांव बाब विश्वजीत राणेक सांगूंक सोदतां की आमचो जो हो इशू आसा हो आख्ख्या गोंयांक आसा. नुस्तें जें आसा हें फक्त सालसेटकार खायना, 70चे लोक खायना, सगळे गोंयचे लोक जे नुस्तें खाता 95% लोक जे आसा हे गोंयचे लोक जे आसा आयज नुस्तें खाता. आनी तुवें अशें उलोवप हें तुका शोभा दिना म्हाका दिसता. आनी मागता जेन्ना गोंयांत जे काँग्रेस सरकार येतली, तुमी पळयतले जे फिशींग माफिया जे आसा, आयज काल पत्रकार परिशदेंत जे आमच्या एक भावान प्रश्न विचारलो की तुमी FIR कित्याक फायल करूना काय म्हणून. आमचे पत्रकार भावांनी विचारलें की जेन्ना तुमकां फॉर्मेलीन थंय मेळ्ळें तुमी FIR कित्याक फायल करूना. आयज हांव तांकां उत्तर दिवंक सोदतां की गोंयच्या इतिहासान हें पयली फावटी जालां की काणकोण ब्लॉकाचें घेवन पेडणे ब्लॉक, फोंडा ब्लॉक, वास्को ब्लॉक, काँग्रेसचे जितले ब्लॉक आसा हे सगळे ब्लॉकांनी फॉर्मेलीन माफियाचेर पुलीस कंप्लेंट FIR फायल केल्ली आसा. आयज गोंयची सगळी ब्लॉकान आमची जे आसा इनिशिएटीव घेतलेलो आसा. आमची काँग्रेसचे सगळे कार्यकर्ता जागृत आसा. सांगेस 70तले घेवन लोकांनी जो हो इश्यू घेतलेलो आसा, क्रायम ब्रांचान FIR फायल केल्ली आसा. आनी हांव तुमकां सांगूंक सोदतां तुमचे मार्फत ह्या फीश माफियांक सांगूंक सोदतां की जेन्ना काँग्रेस पार्टी सत्तार येतली तुमी चिंतचे न्हू की तुमकां आमी अशेंच वचपाक दितले म्हणून. ही सरकारान तुमकां सूट दिली आसतली, ही सरकारान तुमकां सोडलो आसतलो, तांकां कितें मिटर तुमी लायला म्हणून. जेन्ना काँग्रेस पार्टी सत्तर येतली, जेन्ना काँग्रेस पार्टी ह्या सत्तेर येतली आनी गोंयचे हिता खातीर जो आमकां स्टेप घेवपाक जाय, आमी दिसता हे जे फीश माफिया जे आसतले हे बिहायंड द बार्स आसतले. आनी जे इम्पोर्ट नुस्तें जाता आमच्या गोंयांत हेजेरूय बॅन करपाक म्हाका दिसता आमची काँग्रेस सरकार जी आसा ही फाटी आसपाना. आमी इमिजिएटली हेजो जो आसा स्टेप घेतले, कित्याक हो जो प्रश्न आसा हो गोंयची जनतेचो प्रश्न आसा आनी थंय खंयच काँग्रेस सरकार फाटी आसपाना गोंयची जनतेक लागून. दुसरी, विश्वजीत राणेन सांगलेलें की आमचे कडेन स्टाफ शॉर्टेज आसा म्हणून. आनी जेन्ना स्टाफ शॉर्टेज आसा आपूण RTOचे थोडे इन्स्पेक्टर आसा हांकां थंय चॅकपोस्टार घालतलो म्हणून. आयज चॅकपोस्टाची हालत कितें जाला. आयजूय तुमकां RTO इन्स्पेक्टर जो आसा वामन परब हेका रेट धरला अलॉंग विथ एजंट, तेंचे कडेन 1-1 लाख रुपया मेळ्ळ्या. हेज्या पयलीं आमची जागृत काणकोणकार बाब आमचो जना भंडारी NSTन ऑपरेशन केल्लें. थंय तेन्ना जे आसा तेन्ना RTO इन्स्पेक्टर आसा फट्टे तेका अरेस्ट केल्लो. आमी सांगलेलें तुमकां की RTOचे जे अरेस्ट जाता इन्स्पेक्टर्स हेंचेर ज्युडिशली इन्क्वायरी करची म्हणून. तेन्ना तुमी कांय स्टेप घेवना. हेजो परिणाम आसा की आयज तुमकां दुसरो RTO इन्स्पेक्टर जो आसा तुमकां सांबाळ्ळो. आनी तुमी हेंचे कडेन आयज नुस्त्याची चॅकपोस्ट जी आसा हेंचे कडेन सोडूंक सोदता आनी तुमी त्या फीश माफिया कडेन हेंचे कडेन सेटींग करूंक सोदता काय कितें. हो सगळें ट्रेंड जे आसा गोंयांत जो चल्ला, म्हाका दिसता खंय ना खंय गोंयचे जनते कडेन खिडवाड जावपाक लागला. आनी म्हाका दिसता की ताका लागून विश्वजीत राणे सगळ्यां पयलीं जी शब्द वापरले आमचे आमदाराचे अगेन्स्ट बाब रिजनलाचे अगेन्स्ट, हेणे इमिजिएटली जे आसा तेजी माफी मागपाची गरज आसा. थँक्यू.